Bueno, buenas tardes. En nombre de nuestro grupo de investigación sobre innovación y tecnología para la enseñanza de la UTN Regional Avellaneda, les damos a todos, a todas la bienvenida. Estamos muy contentos porque no solo hay gente de Argentina, sino de América, de distintos países de América y de Europa también. Así que muy contentos.
Sorry, Cristina, shall I start? Shall I tell you? Ok, empiezo. Para todos
¿Sí?
aquellos que hablan en inglés.
Bien.
Well, UTN Avellaneda welcomes you to this talk we are going to have with Zsolt here, and we are very glad that you are here with us. Okay.
Yes.
Bueno, muy contentos porque yo especialmente porque Zsolt ha aceptado mi propuesta de brindarnos una charla y compartir con todos nosotros, con todas nosotras, sus conocimientos y contarnos un poco de lo que tiene pensado para el año próximo también.
Okay, here we are glad that you are with us, and we are going to tell you something that it's going to happen in the next few months.
Yes.
Bueno, les cuento a todas las personas presentes que el profesor Zsolt Lavicza es profesor de la Escuela de Educación de Linz, del STEM Education Center, del Johannes Kepler University, Linz, Austria. El profesor Lavicza ha trabajado en distintas investigaciones con tecnología y matemática en Michigan y en Cambridge. Además, ha hecho una gran contribución al desarrollo de GeoGebra, de la comunidad GeoGebra, y participó en muchos proyectos de GeoGebra relacionados con tecnologías alrededor del mundo. Además, Zsolt es profesor en métodos de investigación sobre educación STEM en la Universidad Johannes Kepler, de la Escuela de Educación de Linz. Javier, dije mucho, ¿no?
Okay. Zsolt has worked on research and his work is focused on GeoGebra. He's worked for University in Michigan, Zsolt, and Cambridge.
Cambridge.
Is it okay? All right, good.
Yes. Okay, great. So should I share my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I think you see it now. Is it okay now?
Yes.
Great. So thank you very much for inviting me to this lecture, and I'm very happy to be here. And I've been to Argentina probably 6 times already, and you have a really amazing place. So should I wait for the translation or?
Está muy feliz de estar con ustedes aquí en Argentina, saludándolos desde acá, desde esta charla que organizamos desde la UTN, y bueno, va a comenzar con su charla Zsolt. You can start, Zsolt.
Yes. So I'm working now in the university in Linz, Johannes Kepler University, but I have many students, many PhD students from Argentina, Uruguay, Chile, and Brazil, and it's really amazing to see their work. And I will introduce you some before my talk is that we are planning to have a doctoral summer school and the STEAM education conference next year in Buenos Aires, from 6 to 10 February. So you might be interested in joining.
Bueno, Zsolt ha trabajado con alumnos de Chile, Argentina y Brasil, y en febrero habrá una conferencia del 6 al 10, en donde estará muy contento de recibirlos a quienes quieran participar.
I will show this to you again, but I will talk about our research, and it would be very good to have your attention, and then maybe collaborating in the future on some of these activities.
Estará muy feliz que ustedes puedan colaborar en futuras actividades relacionadas con este campo.
So just the introduction of what I am doing and where we are. So I'm in the Linz School of Education, and I'm leading the doctoral school. And we are doing research on STEAM education. And I have more than 40 PhD students, many of them from South America. And we would like to extend our collaboration with many teachers and potential students in South America, both in Linz and locally.
Zsolt está a cargo de estudiantes de doctorado, muchos son de Sudamérica, en el programa STEM Education.
And also we have many different research centers on mathematics education, STEAM education, computer science educations, and lots of different projects. And also we are developing GeoGebra in Linz.
Aparte está desarrollando en Linz GeoGebra, además de estar en diferentes institutos de matemática, etc.
And our head of department is Professor Markus Hohenwater, who invented GeoGebra. And GeoGebra grew into a very complex software, which has more than 100 million users all around the world, and then it's used in most of the countries in South America.
La mayoría de los países de Sudamérica usan GeoGebra, que tiene más de 100 millones de usuarios.
And also so GeoGebra is based on the community, so we are using GeoGebra through the community from kindergarten to university, and then also sharing the resources on the website. So there are more than 2 million resources are available. And also we have many GeoGebra institutes all around the world, including in Argentina, Uruguay, Chile, and Brazil, and many other places.
Bueno, GeoGebra está diseñado desde la educación inicial hasta la universidad, y en la actualidad tiene más de 200 institutos.
Great. So I will talk about my research, and also what are our plans to integrate technology and creativity into education.
¿Cuáles son los planes para integrar la tecnología y la creatividad dentro de la educación? Eso es lo que nos va a comentar ahora.
And it would be good to discuss these topics, and then maybe you have questions. So essentially, we are doing is integrating creativity into education, because we need to have creative students, and we do it through transdisciplinary teaching. So we are connecting different subjects for this transdisciplinary teaching, and then we also develop the necessary conditions like technologies, and then also the environment which is needed to be used, this interdisciplinary technology-based education.
Ok. Bueno, lo que hace es integrar la creatividad con la educación a través de investigación en tecnología, pedagogía y dadas las condiciones y los ambientes, ¿no?, que permitan actividades creativas en varios entornos escolares y educativos.
So to do this, we are developing technological innovations. So probably you are using GeoGebra on the mobile phones and tablets. So we are developing these resources. And then also we are developing resources for online collaboration. So we have the GeoGebra classroom that is developed through the COVID times. And then maybe many of you are using this to collaborate with students and then create a virtual classroom.
En los tiempos de COVID, bueno, el GeoGebra sirvió mucho para integrar la educación en diferentes actividades online.
And maybe I just skip some of the slides just to save time. So we are working a lot on augmented reality, and then using augmented reality to bring mathematics closer to students. So in that case, we will be able to model the surrounding activities around us, and then use this augmented reality with the phones for students.
Se encuentran trabajando con Augmented Reality, de realidad aumentada, y lo que es importante es cómo se puede trabajar en diferentes entornos.
And then also we can bring mathematics to the classroom, so we can have mathematical activities and then use, for example, functions as a kind of implementation of this augmented reality space closer to students.
Lo que hacen con la realidad aumentada es, bueno, justamente proveer tipo de actividades que puedan usarse en el aula y traer al salón a lo que es la realidad aumentada.
So with this, what we started to work is working on 3D printing, and many of our activities are done in 3D printing. So I just got some new 3D prints from my students. So they are constantly printing lots of different kind of activities. And then we also work with artistic activities with 3D printing, because augmented reality and 3D printing can be connected easily within GeoGebra.
Sí, bueno, comenzaron a realizar actividades de impresión con 3D con sus alumnos, y también lo que proveen es la oportunidad de trabajar con actividades artísticas con GeoGebra.
Probably I skip this. So we are also working on learning analytics. So we would like to improve GeoGebra in a way to create a learning trajectory for students and for teachers to have the right kind of activities for their levels.
Lo que se busca es mejorar GeoGebra para diferentes trayectorias y diferentes realidades de estudiantes.
And probably many of you know GeoGebra Notes, which is like a project-based activity. You can create a canvas for students to work together on mathematical projects.
Muchos conocen proyectos que se pueden realizar con GeoGebra para crear Canva en proyectos matemáticos.
So through this one, what we are trying to develop is pedagogical innovations. So we have many different project working on different aspects of STEAM education. One of the most important one is done by my colleagues who might know, Fabien Vitabar and Cecilia Russo, on gamification, and they are developing a gamification platform, which I would really recommend for you to try.
Bueno, a través de este proyecto lo que se busca es innovar en lo que es la educación a través del proyecto de educación STEM. Y bueno, sus colegas justamente lo que están desarrollando es una plataforma de gamificación de juegos para ser implementada educativamente.
So Fabian and Cecilia developed a gamification platforms called Ludix, and they are using it both for teacher training and then for students. So then the students have to work on some problems and then earn some badges, and they have a leaderboard, and then they will be able to advance in their mathematical topics. And then this is available for you in Spanish.
Bueno, Fabián y Cecilia están desarrollando una plataforma de juegos para los estudiantes que tienen un líder de lo que sería como un líder, que lo que pueden hacer es justamente con esta plataforma avanzar en temas de matemática para los estudiantes.
And also we are developing different kind of games, and then also making the students to develop their games. And then our games are both physical and digital, so we can move from the physical to the digital direction, and then making the students and teachers working on different activities with these games. And all of this is available on the GeoGebra platform, so I can send you the resources that we are collecting.
Bien, ok. Lo que hace es desarrollar todo tipo de juegos, y los alumnos también pueden desarrollar juegos digitales que también pueden ser interactivos, y todo se encuentra en la plataforma de GeoGebra.
So should I wait for the translation or just talk later? So I don't know what is the best.
I think, what do you think, Cristina? He can talk. ¿Puede hablar tranquilamente?
Sí, sí.
Bien, bien, bien.
So should we continue like this or just continue talking?
No, you can continue talking, and then
Yes.
we'll wait for the discussion.
Salvo que quieran hacer alguna pregunta, si hay alguien que quiera hacer alguna pregunta, pueden escribirla por el chat y cualquier cosa adelantamos. ¿Te parece?
Okay.
Pero puede seguir con la charla. You can continue.
You can
Okay,
continue
so
with your talk. Yes.
So I just continue with the talk and don't stop for translation,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so in that case, it's easier. So what we try to do is develop this kind of new era of manipulatives, which is more like, how do we imagine the mathematical content in the classroom, and then how we can generate lots of new resources, both in physical and in the digital form. And in that case, creativity could be brought back into the classroom. So what we can do is that we can create simple mathematical activities, and then we can generate a digital form and then move it to the physical direction, for example, with 3D printing. And then through this, the students will be able to experience different mathematical activities, and then being inspired to to learn mathematics through this. So then this is what we want to achieve. And then games are very useful for doing these kind of activities. So for example, we are working with Logifaces, which is also available in 3D printing form. So then this is a very popular game, which has been developed by a Hungarian artist. And then you just have to create a continuous surface with these prisms. And then this is a very simple, but at the same time, very complex game. And we try to integrate the simplicity and the complexity into the mathematics classroom, and then use these kind of games to generate ideas and generate creativities among the students. So for example, you can download the Logifaces game in 3D printing, and then you can create the prints. And then also we have the same game online, and then we can explore that what are the activities that the students are developing in this form. And essentially this month, we are publishing a book on Logifaces that can enable lots of different activities in mathematics and physics and biology, just developed through this kind of games. And also, this kind of creativity can be done through asking very simple questions. So for example, just dividing the cube into equal volumes. So we can create this kind of divisions, and then the students can provide hundreds or thousands of different solutions. And then these kind of solutions could trigger the mathematical activities, and then also connecting it to their learning and these activities as well. And then, for example, what we try to do is try to create mathematics teacher training courses where the teachers are developing their own games. And then this is, for example, a game by an Austrian teacher who turned the Voronoi diagram into a 3D puzzle. And then we created this 3D puzzle. And then it's a really offers very rich activity with GeoGebra. Also, we are working with cookie cutters. Then that could also teach geometry, algebra, and then different words. But also it could be useful for students to create different geometric shapes together. And we had a large project in Montenegro, where we started to use these cookie cutters to teach the students for 3D printing. And for example, this is one of our 3D printing activities to have a 3D printer assembled by the students and then teach them these kind of activities, from very simple to very complex activities, and then both from physical to digital. And one of the teachers in our group developed this game, which is very interesting because it's both physical and digital, that you can play the game just by the printed objects or on an augmented reality object. But many of the solutions can be done only if the students are using both the 3D printed and the augmented reality activities as well. So we try to look at that, how students learn in this kind of digital environment, and then also how we can prepare teachers for to handle this kind of physical and digital divide. And that what was found is that students are much more active and comfortable working in this kind of environment, and games are very good introduction for this. Similarly, my PhD student from Indonesia is developing micro games. So micro games are just very short and simple games. I know Laura Del Rio is also working in micro games in La Plata, and then we are trying to create a collection of these micro games which is like an activity that can introduce a mathematical topic, but at the same time, students are being present and being motivated in the classroom. I can send many of these microgames, and then actually it's becoming very popular in the classroom activities to make students focus on their work as well. This is another game which is called Polyuniverse. It's also done with a Hungarian artist, but it's very interesting because they were inspired by the museum in La Plata to design this game. And then we also published a book on this methodology, that how we can teach not only mathematics, but other subjects with these topics. And because of the simplicity and the complexity of this game, then we will be able to start this game from kindergarten, and then also we can teach, for example, biology and genetics through these games with university students as well. And this is a game.
Sorry,
yes.
Zsolt. Can't Javier translate that?
Oh, okay. I thought that you thought that I should just continue talking and not.
No,
a little.
You can continue. Yes.
Oh, then that's what I asked, that whether I should stop or just continue the talking. So
stop.
Yeah, I can stop. So
okay. Thank you. Espera.
Sorry, ¿qué? Sí.
¿Puedes hacer
María.
un resumen?
En realidad estuvo presentando, claro, estuvo presentando todas las formas desde lo físico hasta el espacio digital, ¿no? Como con las impresiones 3D se pueden hacer diferentes tipos de... Ahí está, justamente muestra las diapositivas. Cualquier cosa que podemos hacer, Cristina, es si hay preguntas, las vamos resolviendo, ¿sí? ¿Te parece? Estás muteada.
Bueno. Sí.
¿Sí?
Okay.
Sí, perfecto. Listo.
You can continue, Zsolt.
Yeah. So in that case, I will stop. I was just asking whether I should stop or not. So
No,
I think it was.
You can continue, and if there are any questions, we can stop.
Yeah. So it was maybe a misunderstanding.
No, it's
and
okay.
Okay, and then also we are looking at culture, that how we can use physical and digital activities to connect with culture. So my student in Egypt is using 3D printing and augmented reality to model our world, so we can have cultural influences for mathematical, digital, and physical modeling. So I just stopped him.
You can continue with the talk. If there are any questions, we are going to answer them.
So in that case, we will be able to use this kind of architectural modeling as an inspiration for students to model. And then this is very successful to engage students, and then they are working on these activities and then being involved in the activities as well. So for example, we designed a study for outdoor mathematics. So I think maybe some of you know MathCity maps, where you can create outdoor mathematical trails. So students can go to the city and in their neighborhoods, and they can model the buildings or any kind of shape. So we can give exercises, and then they go back, and then for example, we can print their models or solve outdoor mathematical activities. And actually we are just organizing now a special issue in the journal, that how we can connect the activities in the classroom to outdoor mathematics, and then what are the aspects where we can involve students' surroundings in this kind of mathematical activities as well. And we do it with my student Matthias in Uruguay. So we are looking at different architectures in Uruguay to be able to bring this kind of experiences to the classroom for students. Same with my colleague in South Korea, who is looking at astronomy and mathematics through 3D printing and augmented reality. So then these are the activities which is important for students, and then they can engage. Should I stop or continue?
En síntesis, lo que es bueno, que utilizando la realidad aumentada se pueden hacer diferentes actividades relacionadas con arquitectura. Por ejemplo, los alumnos se los alienta a trabajar, a ir a diferentes barrios o vecindarios y pueden realizar impresiones 3D en base a los diferentes diseños que tienen sus barrios.
So, yeah, we are doing this in Israel, but what I wanted to show that these cultural aspects are very particular. So, for example, my student in Portugal is looking at the Portuguese-speaking countries and then use the cultural effects in Brazil, Portugal, Angola, Cape Verde to be able to bring it to the classroom and then do it in this kind of activities. And I'm sure there is lots of cultural aspects which you can use in Argentina and then Uruguay in the Spanish-speaking countries, and then we try to look at that, how to bring culture into the classroom. Okay.
Bueno, en países de habla inglesa de habla portuguesa, como Brasil y Portugal, lo que se busca es que traigan sus aspectos culturales y los puedan conectar con este tipo de actividades.
Great. And then also I have many students from Indonesia. We are looking at Indonesian culture, that how we could use the local culture and local activities, like, for example, shadow puppeting, and then also the different patterns in the classroom to connect the local culture, because then that could engage students in this kind of activities. And then also we have a big program in Indonesia where we have city maps, where the students go around in the city, and then we are creating thousands of these maps, which creates the whole city or the whole neighborhood into learning environments.
Los estudiantes de Indonesia, lo que se hace es justamente exactamente lo mismo que con los estudiantes de habla portuguesa, es que en cierta forma se motiven al trabajar diferentes actividades culturales que les pertenecen a ellos con este tipo de actividades que se realizan.
So these are some of the activities what we are doing in Indonesia. So if you would like to learn more, then we will be able to create these outdoor mathematics activities in Argentina too. And we work a lot with robotics. We have several projects on robotics and 3D printing, and then try to see that how we could use in this kind of cultural elements connected with technology and, for example, 3D printing and augmented reality. The other topic which we cover in our research is media education. So, for example, we are working on YouTubing, that how we can create videos and silent videos where students are becoming YouTubers and then used in this kind of YouTube culture in their in the teaching of mathematics. Okay.
Lo que, bueno, también se puede hacer, o que lo están trabajando, es hacer este tipo de actividades, video tasks, tareas de video, que justamente lo que hacen es que aquello que es conectar lo que sería YouTube, ¿no? Y llevar los aspectos culturales a este tipo de conexión con lo que sería un YouTuber.
And also we are using students' culture. So for example, we are using mathematical memes for teaching mathematics. And this is very close to students' culture. And then we can engage students with these activities as well. Or we started to work on digital comics, where we can introduce comics and use some of these issues that is important for the students. So, for example, climate change and biodiversity, crime, or anything which can be connected to students' experiences.
También se pueden utilizar los aspectos culturales al conectar las diferentes culturas de los estudiantes, por ejemplo, con los memes, presentando cómics sobre un tema en particular, como cambio climático, para justamente llevarlo al ámbito estudiantil.
Great. And then also we are working with arts. So we are trying to connect mathematics and music, and then we are developing different apps for mathematical music performances. So this is my student, and also my other student is working with music and functions. So GeoGebra has a sound, so you will be able to hear the sound of different functions.
También se usa GeoGebra para conectar lo que es la matemática y la música, ya que tiene sonido GeoGebra, y bueno, esto permite, bueno, ver diferentes presentaciones musicales.
And also, this is a project where we involve girls with mathematics and coding, and then also students are performing music through computer programming. Or we involve 3D printing and jewelry. This is our new project when we can involve girls into our work as well. How much time do I have, or should I continue, or there is any other topic that I should cover? Christina, what do you think?
Nos queda un poquito de tiempo, unos 5 minutos más, y después 5 o 10, y podemos hacer la discusión por los
Just
tiempos
5
que
minutes
dijimos,
and then the
¿no?
discussion. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So for example, we can talk about mathematics and arts. So for example, then this is an activity that we developed with my colleagues in Finland and Brazil, where we build this geodesic dome from a 4D frame activity, and then we can use this modeling within GeoGebra. So in that case, we will be able to cover lots of important mathematical topics through connecting the physical and the digital world within these with these activities as well. And so then these are some of the patterns then that we can cover, but also connecting to the culture. So we were involved in a project when we developed the world's largest ice dome in Finland. And then this activity became a very important part of the Finnish education system. So in that case, students were working on this geodesic dome for months, and now in our conferences we have like a mathematical hairdressing as one of the arts then that we will be able to cover. And maybe I just would like to show this to you, because probably next year in our summer school we will have a workshop on mathematical mazes. So mazes can be found in every culture, and it has a very rich historical aspects. And then we can use in these historical aspects of the mazes to teach mathematics. But it's very difficult to create these mazes. But we have an activity where every student and teacher can create their own mazes and then use the augmented reality app to follow these mazes. So in that case, we are trialing that how we can do this kind of outdoor activities in this work. And then when they finish solving the mazes, then we will be able to print the mazes, and then it offers lots of very rich activities with this. So we plan to have a kind of 3D design workshop in Buenos Aires next February on mazes. Same we can do with mandalas. I've seen lots of very interesting mandalas in South America, so we are doing lots of different workshops and very rich activities with this. So maybe what I would like to show you is dancing. So we are looking at how to connect mathematics and dancing and physics. And then also we just started to develop a new project on mathematics and tango. And we already have a student who is working on tango and mathematics. So I think then that could be another topic for next year, that how we could work on this. Probably I just skip some of the activities here, and then maybe talk a little bit about computational thinking. So computational thinking is becoming very important for the new research area. And then we are trying to look at that how we can bring computational thinking and then also the different algorithms into the system, because that connects mathematics and coding. So we are trying to develop lots of different techniques for computational thinking and then integrate it into the curriculum. So for example, this is a game that we developed that there is a story that the prince has to rescue the princess from the dragon, and we created this robotic game where the students have to reach the castle with this robot, and then the robot represents the prince, and then use this as an activity for their work as well. So I have lots of other things to discuss, but maybe if you have questions, I think I will have lots of other things to show, and what would be very good that we could continue in this kind of thinking together next February in Argentina, and then I can talk much more in details about these projects, and then maybe just run some workshops with these activities as well. So, and I have lots of other slides, so I can show many other things, but I think I'm running out of time.
Okay. Thank you so much, Zsolt, for sharing with us your knowledge and your research with students around the world.
Thank you. And it would be good to have a discussion, and hopefully
Yes.
next year we will meet in person and I can give much more details of these projects.
Yes, I hope that you give us another talk next year.
Yes, I would be very happy, and maybe I just share some of these.
And perhaps we can collaborate with you.
Yes, I would be very happy. So then this is some information. So the summer school and the conference is under development. And then I think we will talk about it and then see that how we can involve teachers and potential students and then other researchers from South America.
¿Querés, Javier?
Sí, no, que en febrero le espera, bueno, discutir muchos de estos proyectos, charlarlos con ustedes y bueno, la discusión de estos temas, hay muchísimas áreas, muchísimos aspectos que se pueden cubrir en esas charlas que van a dar en febrero y bueno, Cristina le dice justamente que espera tener más charlas, más de este tipo de conferencias con Zsolt.
Bueno, quizás hay algunas preguntas. There are some questions. A ver. Primero
Nicolás.
pregunto. Sí.
Dale. No, Nicolás asks, what is your profile in GeoGebra?
Oh, my profile in GeoGebra. That's a good question. I think you will be able to find me as Zsolt Lavicza. But I need to check.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe my profile is Zsolt at GeoGebra.org. I think this is the profile.
Okay. Algunos están preguntando si se puede compartir las slides y yo respondo por mí que vamos a compartir el video que lo vamos a subir al canal de YouTube del grupo. Se los vamos a mandar por mail a los inscritos. Pero no sé si le querés decir, Javier, a Zsolt si puede compartir.
The thing, Zsolt, is that some people they want if you can share with them the slides, yes, of your presentation.
Yes,
I'm
sharing now the slides, so I put it on the chat.
On the chat, okay.
Yes.
On the chat. Están en el chat, sí.
Yeah, so then that is the Prezi that I use. Maybe I just should stop sharing.
Bueno, enviaremos el video y también el link por alguno que no lo tenga o que se olvide de copiarlo.
There is one question here, Zsolt, on the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have used 3D impressions to translate some abstract concepts to material tools? Because Jorge is thinking in using this tool to teach math to blind people.
I don't know that software, or I don't know if it's a software, but we are working a lot with blind students. So we have some papers on blind students, and I have at least 3 students who are working with 3D printing and with blind students. So I can send you some papers which we are writing, and this kind of inclusion is one of the topics what we are doing, and not only teaching mathematics but also teaching biology and physics for blind students is very important.
Bien, va a enviar seguramente unos papers para sobre gente que está desarrollando este tipo de investigación sobre cómo usar GeoGebra con personas no videntes. No sé si hay más preguntas.
Sí había, pero se me van del chat. A ver. Quizás si alguien quiere hacer alguna pregunta, abre el micrófono y le pregunta directamente, ¿eh? No hay problema.
Yeah, I see on the chat. So
Yes.
essentially what we need is really to bring creativity and creation into the classroom, because then that's how we can inspire students, and then also this will be the future. So I think we are moving from content to skills in the future, and I think then that is a very important part of education.
Una pregunta. ¿Puedo hacer una pregunta?
Sí.
Para estudiantes que no tienen ninguna experiencia en este tipo de capacitación, el inicio en el aprendizaje del manejo de esta técnica, ¿en qué tiempo se calcula que ya tienen un principio de conocimiento?
Okay. For those students who have no training on GeoGebra, how long does it take to have at least a basic knowledge of how to use it?
So I think for students, they are much faster than teachers. So our experience that if they go through some kind of tutorials, then probably in 2 or 3 hours, then they will be able to learn it, because students now learn lots of things on YouTube, and then they do trial and error, so they pick up technology very fast. So probably the basics, I think with some YouTube tutorials, they can do in 2 or 3 hours.
Muy bien, 2 o 3 horas aproximadamente, basados en los tutoriales de YouTube, ya que nuestros alumnos aprenden más rápido que otros, los profes, por ejemplo, y bueno, en 2 o 3 horas podrían ya adquirir el conocimiento básico de GeoGebra.
So it's always much more difficult to teach the teachers for GeoGebra than the students.
Capacitar, claro, primero a los docentes en GeoGebra.
Because we have very different approach. So what we experience, that teachers are usually just want to learn and then kind of become proficient with GeoGebra. But the students are just do some trials and errors, and then if they just try to break the system. So it's a very completely opposite approach. The teachers want to know it, students just try it, and then when they try, they learn.
Bien. Sí, en realidad los estudiantes por ensayo-error se van manejando, ¿no? Ellos solo quieren aprender, mientras que por ahí los docentes lo que buscan es diferentes enfoques o querer saber más, como justamente para poder enseñar.
So from content to skills, I think it's very important to have this kind of inquiry-based learning. For example, that the students are discovering the mathematics. So then that's why I'm showing many of the activities. What we develop is that students are just trialing to do something. So we can give them an inspiring question or a task, and then they are developing their own projects. And then they develop some skills. But it's much harder for the teachers to teach in this way. And then also many times the curriculum is not suited for that. But we try to embrace in this kind of discovery approach in learning and teaching.
Sí, de contenidos a habilidades, bueno, los estudiantes descubren lo que se puede dar son actividades que les sean, que los motive a trabajar y para justamente desarrollar las habilidades. A veces el currículum no va exactamente ligado a lo que es habilidades y desarrollo según los contenidos de este tipo.
Susana tiene una pregunta. ¿Querés decirla, Susana, vos ya directamente? Por ahí te veo. ¿Dónde está?
¿Qué tal? Nice to meet you, first of all. I teach chemistry. I thought I read something about cool labs. Is there any
Yes, so
research
we
on
are
chemistry?
but our cool lab is more computer science education, but I have some colleagues who is doing chemistry education. And just let me find.
I'll send you a mail. Thank you so much.
Yes.
It was very, very nice
Yes.
chat.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. And I try to ask my colleagues on chemistry, but we are doing 3D printing and chemistry, which is like creating the molecules for 3D printing. And then that is a kind of interdisciplinary approach.
That
But we
could
also
be-
have we also have a chemistry
start.
lab. We
Yes.
also have a chemistry lab here, and I just try to find on the website.
Thank you.
Oh, I found it. I send you the link now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Último. ¿Cuál sería la traducción de lo último?
Sí, lo que sería es que, bueno, para lo que es química, en realidad Cool Lab es más para ciencias de informática, ¿no? Ahí acaba de enviar un link relacionado con esto, ¿no? Con Cool Lab para química.
So this is the Cool Lab, which is more like computer science. And this is our...
En el chat están los links.
Bien. Juan Tarazona Vidal también hizo una pregunta que si quiere puede hacérsela directamente a Zsolt.
Sí, ¿cómo están? ¿Cómo están? Sí, sí me lo
Hola,
respondió,
Juan.
muchas gracias.
Ah, bueno,
Sí,
perfecto,
sí me lo respondió.
perfecto.
Muchas gracias.
Perfecto. No sé si hay alguna otra. Acá hay otra. Patricio, si querés hacer la pregunta directamente.
Dale.
Gracias.
Hello, Zsolt. What I question is, there is any experience using GeoGebra to physics in simulations or modeling, something like that?
So we are not doing physics activities in GeoGebra in our team, but if you look at these physics simulations, I just send it to you. There are thousands of them, and then you can use for this. So our work is more like connecting physics and arts. So we are looking at some artistic activities. So for example, dancing and music, and then using this, but we are connecting mathematics and physics. But if you look at these simulations that I sent to you, there are whole books on physics simulations on GeoGebra.
Fine. Thank you.
And we are trying to create a content map too, because we have a content map for mathematics, but we want to have a physics content map for all the subjects.
Actualmente no están utilizando GeoGebra para física en este equipo, pero bueno, hay libros e investigaciones para simulaciones en GeoGebra. El equipo se basa más en lo que es arte, danza, música, en las actividades creativas.
Si alguien más quiere hacerle alguna pregunta, abre el micrófono directamente.
If
So-
anyone, okay. If anyone
So
wants to
maybe,
ask, sí.
yes. So maybe next February we could organize in this meeting and then maybe some talks. And then if there is any kind of interest that you would like to hear more, because I just gave some of our projects and we have hundreds more, that if you want to hear about projects more, then we could run some workshops there, and then also we can stream it online. So I think you can just, then there is a form with the QR code, so you can just fill it in. And then if you would be interested either participating in person or online, we could have a more detailed workshop of any of the topics that I showed, or even more.
Sí, en el caso que quieran, se desee, bueno, hablar sobre diferentes proyectos, se pueden participar online o en forma presencial a través de un formulario QR. Y bueno, ahí está Zsolt, estará muy complacido en contestar y discutir con ustedes cualquier cosa en estos talleres.
So I will take some of my students next February, and then they can run workshops for you on augmented reality, 3D printing, or games, or whatever you would like to have. And I already have lots of colleagues from La Plata and from Uruguay who would be showing lots of interesting things. And then also Pablo from Patagonia.
Pablo Carranza, que hace poco dio un webinar, que estuvo con nosotros.
Yes, we have mathematics and poetry. And I can send you some papers about this. We just published one paper on mathematics and poetry. And actually we have a mathematical poetry festival too. So here are some publications. And then also we have mathematics and religion. So we are looking at the numbers in different religious texts in the Jewish culture and in Islam and in other projects too. So we have an expert on Jewish texts and mathematics, and of course poetry.
Ahí envió un link. Y bueno, sí, sobre conectar la matemática con la poesía, tiene algunos números ahí de
I find that.
publicaciones. Sobre Islam, sobre la cultura.
I think you can find. Yeah, so this is one of our papers on mathematics and poetry.
Un paper en matemática y poesía, cómo conectarlo.
So if there are any other questions. So I think we can continue this maybe in February. And then maybe Christina, you could collect some of the ideas.
Yes.
That what we should do. And then I think we should set up a meeting with you and Matthias and Pablo and maybe Laura and Karina. And then discuss that how should we set up different kind of workshops. And I think Karina is here. So she is doing really amazing work on PhotoGebra, which is also really impressive. So I think you have lots of very interesting things in Argentina and in Uruguay. So
bueno, acá hay muchos saludos, agradecen la charla. Bueno, algunos en inglés les habrás leído. I'd like to, at the beginning of the talk, you talk about summer school in Buenos Aires. What kind of activities are you going to develop there?
Yes. So our goal with the summer school is that probably we would include like a 2-day conference where we invite people to share ideas, because you have lots of very interesting people, and then we would like to invite some good speakers and then maybe do some workshops. So then this would be 2 days. And then 3 days, what we would like to do is to show that how to train researchers. So I'm running the doctoral school here, and then I know that lots of very interesting things is being done in South America, but how to do research, that how to ask a good research question, how to collect data, how to analyze data, how to write research papers, I think then that is really missing. So I think for 3 days of the research school, we would like to have like a kind of research training for potential students who want to do a PhD, or researchers to have to publish papers and so on. And then also we are planning to run some workshops with Pablo that, for example, building a solar oven, that is the activity, and then maybe doing some maze activities, and then applying the research skills, what we learned on a particular project. And then, of course, this is just an introduction, and then we would be able to continue. So essentially 2-day conference and then 3 days intensive research training. That is the aim, what we would like to have.
Okay.
En el verano, en las escuelas de Summer Schools, lo que planifica Zsolt es conferencias de 2 días para invitar a oradores, y también conferencias de 3 días para capacitar a los investigadores, una capacitación intensiva de cómo hacer trabajo de investigación, cómo formular las preguntas, los datos, ya que está conduciendo equipos de doctorado que están preparando para el doctorado y quiere hacer un taller para ellos y, bueno, justamente cómo desarrollar esas habilidades para investigar.
Bueno, esto va a ser en Buenos Aires y les vamos a todos los inscriptos, les vamos a mandar información en cuanto tengamos más claro el lugar, etc. Las fechas las sabemos.
Yeah, so I think then that's what we see with my students, that you have lots of really interesting activities, but I think in this kind of structuring, that how to investigate education from a systematic point of view, then that's what we can help. And then also I hope to develop a kind of joint doctoral school for potential students to study in South America and in Linz. And I think then that would be the goal for the long-term goal, to have something established. But this is the first step.
Bien, sí, es justamente lo que buscan, es como para unirse con estudiantes potenciales que a largo plazo quieran investigar sobre el área.
Bien. ¿Alguna pregunta más? ¿O algún comentario?
Yo le hice un comentario, pero no sé si lo leyó.
Ah, espera, ¿cuál? Agustín. Si no, decilo.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you very much, Zsolt, for your presentation. I think it's so useful and interesting for us because, as we have seen, it's very important to connect creativity with the process of learning and using math, arts, and utilizing a great variety of sources such as math, games, music, comics, dance, etc. And I think it's amazing how GeoGebra and interdisciplinary projects are present in many different cultures and environments, because I think it motivates people a lot to learn math and helps to improve the way we learn and apply it in real life.
Oh, thank you. So, yeah, so hope we will be able to continue it in February, and many of you could join, because I think even for 1 or 2 days, then to meet each other and then getting inspiration is really great.
Okay, thank you so much again.
Thank you. Okay.
¿Alguien más? ¿Alguna pregunta? Agustín is one of my students.
Oh, great.
Jorge.
So,
Sí.
yeah, so it would be very nice to meet many of you next year. And then I think that our goal would be just to open in this kind of community and then work together and doing something really interesting. Because for the doctoral school, what I do, the only requirement for the admission that someone has to do something which is really interesting for them. So doing something which is interesting, and any crazy ideas are welcome. So
La idea es abrir esta comunidad, así pueden quedarse, incluso hacer actividades que aunque parezcan diferentes, ¿no? Crazy, se puede hacer algo con este tipo de aplicación, ¿no?
Ok. Bueno, si no quedan más preguntas o comentarios, vamos a cerrar la charla, finalizamos. Parece que no. Ah, Jorge preguntó por los trabajos, ¿no? No me acuerdo, Jorge, ¿qué le habías preguntado sobre los...?
No, ¿dónde se pueden conseguir los trabajos sobre aplicación en sí? Where we can have the papers about 3D impressions for blind people?
I already put it on the chat, but I send it to you again. So
I send a mail.
yes.
I send you
no, I put it on the chat. So these are all the papers.
Ahí está.
These are all the papers which we wrote, and then you can find the papers about blind students and.
Okay. Another question, little question, and not directly about the talk. Why you associate creativity with arts and not with science? Because it's a classical this topic. Creativity, science, creativity, art, method, science. And I think it's creativity, art, and creativity science. And science.
So I think you misunderstood my talk. So we are talking about we are talking about creativities, not only one creativity, but then there are lots of different kind of creativities. And my colleague in Cambridge wrote lots of papers about that. There are lots of different kind of creativity, but we are not really working on creativity, but we are working on creation. And creation is done in arts, creation is done in science, and then we don't separate all of this. So then that's why what we want to do is that this STEAM education, it's science, technology, arts, and mathematics, but the arts is more like creation. And mathematics is a creativity, physics is a creativity. And it has many of these. Creativity is like a skill and the development of this. So we are doing all of this kind of creativity. It's not only arts, but also in all subjects.
Then we can use GeoGebra and 3D impression to teach.
Yes.
Like something.
So yeah, and then we just give the tools and the resources for the teachers and for the students, and then they are much more creative that we can imagine. So what we need is giving good questions, giving inspiration, and then giving the tools, and then they can do whatever they want, and then we just get surprised. So I think that's what we want to do. We don't want to prescribe that what is creativity. We just give the tools and the environment, and then they do whatever they want. That's what my PhD students are doing. So they have some idea, they can do whatever they want. So it's no really pressure on things. Everyone is doing what is interesting for them.
That's right.
Sobre la pregunta por qué se asocia la creatividad con el arte y no con la ciencia, en realidad el equipo STEAM lo que hacen es enfocarse en creación, ¿sí? Puede ser ya sea para artes, para matemática, para física, o sea que la creatividad es sobre crear, está basado en todos los temas. Y lo que se da en este equipo es dar recursos para los profesores y los estudiantes, se les da las herramientas para crear en cualquier entorno.
Bueno, creo que no hay más preguntas, me parece. I worked with Jorge and Juan, and Susana. We research together.
Oh, great. I'm very curious. So maybe you can show what you are doing, and it would be very good to develop collaboration. So we are very open to any ideas.
Okay.
That's possible.
Yeah, and then so if you need anything in more details, then I can send it to you, or you can bring it next year. And then of course you are very welcome to visit us here too. So we always have a lot of visitors if it's possible.
It's a little difficult now.
Yes, I know. Really. Yeah, I know. So for then that's why we want to. Yes. So, but I think that we are planning to have some research grants on the future to enable traveling, because I know that it's easier for us to travel to Argentina than here. So then that's why we also want to give this opportunity for the students and colleagues there. But I think on the long run, we would like to have exchanges, which hopefully will be possible.
Thank you. Well, again, thanks a lot, Zsolt, for the talk.
Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias.
Bueno, además quiero agradecer a Javier, especialmente el profesor Javier Carrizo, que es coordinador de la Cátedra de Inglés de la Regional Avellaneda de la Universidad Tecnológica Nacional, que está haciendo la traducción. También le agradezco un montón que se haya sumado a la propuesta. En futuras ocasiones te tendremos otra vez, ya te comprometo.
Bárbaro, gracias.
Bueno, creo que vamos a cerrar la charla. We have to finish because of time. Y les agradezco a todos, a todas las personas que vinieron y participaron de esta charla. Después enviaremos el link con la grabación, que la vamos a subir al canal de YouTube del grupo de investigación. Y también, bueno, alguno que se haya perdido el link del Prezi, también se los vamos a compartir.
So, thank you so much. And then hope to see you in February. And I think we can have a meeting to think about how to organize this. So I think Karina and Laura and Pablo and Christina and then Jorge, your colleagues, and then we will figure out something good. So we are quite flexible, and yeah, I think it will be nice.
Thank you. We will be there.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We see you in February.
Yes,
Yes.
Then definitely. But I think
we plan a meet.
We will talk. Yeah, so we will talk before anyway, I think, because we want to have a kind of organization and being involved. So it will be nice.
Thank you. Thank you, Zsolt.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.